Want to welcome everybody back to the Revelation Through Conversation podcast, RTC, as my brother
RTC.
like to call
Yes,
it.
sir.
Hey, want to introduce myself, Ken Brown, also my co-host.
J Brown. And today's episode is we're first of all we're at episode 5. So
So,
thank everybody for the support who've been tuning in thus far.
mm-hmm,
Today's topic is accountability unleashed.
mm-hmm,
Accountability unleashed, and we just want to target this particular topic today because accountability is a twofold thing. You go both ways. You know, like prime example, me and my brother, we just started our podcast, and with everything in life, you're trying to do great. You're gonna be tested, and it's important when you have a partnership to have some sort of accountability between the both of you. And I myself, I I wasn't holding up my end of the deal, so it's one of those things where I pointed out where I was lacking at in the communication department and in the prep department to our podcast. And my brother, my brother noticed it, and it was kind of like we kind of butt heads. I would say I don't know how you see it, Ken. I would say we kind of butt heads, but what released the tension from my side was, bro, I wasn't doing my part. So that's the accountability part of it. Only accountability is only your part in the situation where you went wrong and doing something about it. So
uh-huh,
I chose to do something about it, and here
yeah,
we are. We're gonna keep moving forward.
oh yeah, and like you said, it did started a little rocky, with
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then you know how it is when you send a text,
yeah, yeah,
you don't know how to when you reading something, it just come off a different type of way.
yeah,
So hey, you were like respectfully, don't ask me, what I'm gonna do no more. And I was looking like,
yeah,
dang, like you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But to get back to it though, bro, like you said, man, accountability. Like you own up to it, you were
yeah,
like, yeah, I can do better. And
yeah,
then it also made me look at myself because accountability, like it starts with you.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it even made me be more on point. I was like, man, I'm getting on bro about doing this, but just being real with myself, like at times where I dropped the ball a little.
Yeah,
So it made me even, with uploading the episode we just put out today, it just made me
yeah,
want to be more on point with it.
yeah,
As far as being ready for the time we decided we gonna
right,
post it. Like
right,
I was up late last night, bro, just trying to make
yeah,
sure I come through to do what
uh-huh,
I said I was gonna do. You know,
yeah,
I was like, man, I can't be on bro, and then I don't even come through it, and it was looking like I wasn't gonna be able to come through. And I would
yeah,
think, I was like, dang, do I need to reach out and call them, let them know? I was
yeah,
like, nah, bro, do all you can
yeah,
to do what you're supposed to do, and then if it get to there where you did everything you can, then you reach
yeah,
out and
absolutely.
communicate to them. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So with this accountability thing, we just want to, you know, touch on a few things, such as like we're gonna start with the importance of it. The importance of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Failure to hold yourself accountable when it comes to certain things. Let's say your job. Let's say your job. Failure to hold yourself accountable on your job, where we talking about attendance, we're talking about showing up on time. And the
Mm-hmm.
moment you're not doing your part, your boss or supervisor call you to the office, and instead of there being friction, you playing the victim. That's another thing that comes with accountability. A lot of people, like those who fail to grow or hold themselves accountable, you know, uh, they play the victim a lot when they want to be held accountable. They play the victim a lot. Like, why you
Mm-hmm.
messing with me? Why you messing with me? No, acknowledge that you was wrong. Yeah, I was late 5 times this month. I
Yeah.
mean, and you got called in the office to getting written up, or even a verbal warning. At the end of the day, be accountable, be better. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people they pull you to the side. That's just face it. Some jobs will let you go. Some people don't give
Mm-hmm.
you that much leeway when you're late
Mm-hmm.
consistently. So hold yourself accountable. Be on time. Be early. See what you can do better from your side, from your point.
Like you said, man, some jobs it's not even a conversation. You out of here.
Yeah,
So, and some people, it's either they'll keep you around because they need you, or it's
Yeah.
because they care.
Right.
And you know, with us, you my brother, bro. Like, I love you. So it was tough for me to even send that message, because you never know how people gonna respond. But I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, when you like, if it's somebody you really care about,
Yeah.
and you know, okay, in the end, this just gonna make us better. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta have them tough conversations, bro.
You have to.
Like you can't be scared to have them tough conversations. And like,
Yeah.
you know, I even, like my wife, that's my partner. So we be talking about everything, and she be kind of worried about, well, you sure you want to do that? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, baby, if this break us apart, then we don't need to be doing this anyway.
First place.
I be
Absolutely.
looking like, man, we gotta have these tough conversations.
Got to. We got
Yeah.
to. It only makes us more relatable, man. We can't be total opposite of what we're trying to help our community with. You know, the whole
Mm-hmm.
point of this podcast is for us to grow, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and to help each other. And we already made it clear that we're gonna grow. We on this process
Oh
along with the
yeah.
people that we're trying to reach. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
a part of growth, man. So I think another thing with accountability, like you said, having those tough conversations, and sometimes you
Yep.
got to push your feelings to the side. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it need to be heard. And if it, and not only with me and you, but other people, you can't grow if you're not held accountable. You can't
Mm-hmm.
grow. There's no way you gonna find yourself repeating the same cycle because you fail to own up to what you've done wrong, where it be a job, where it be relationship,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually. You know, you just gotta hold yourself accountable because there's no growth where there's no accountability. There's no growth.
Mm-hmm.
Unknown Arthur. I don't know who said that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it's good to have people around you that's gonna hold you accountable. But it's
Yeah,
always best. It's always best if you can hold yourself accountable. Cause
absolutely.
like for me, man, like in my life, like I used to beat myself up. I used to always point the finger,
Right.
not realizing that I was to blame, bro. Like, I had to
Yeah,
hold myself accountable, bro. It was
absolutely.
decisions I was out here making
Hmm.
that wasn't the best of decisions. And I
Right.
used to be down and feeling sorry for myself, bro. Like you said, playing the victim.
Yep.
Playing
That's
the
it.
victim wasn't gonna get me out of my situation. And I
Absolutely.
had to be real with myself, bro. Like, I had to look in the mirror like, man, you did this, you did that. And
Yeah.
after that, it was like, okay, now what can you do going forward? Like, how can you be better? And I had to hold myself accountable.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like a lot of relationships, where it be you and some other person, or whether it be a friendship or you colleagues, even colleagues working together. I feel like a lot of um, relationships went south because people, they couldn't own up. They couldn't own up to what they was doing wrong in a
Mm-hmm.
particular situation or relationship or a job. You got to with certain jobs, you got to be able to work with one another to get the bigger picture done. You know what I'm saying? But as far as a lot of I'm gonna go back to relationship. A lot of relationships was ruined because people failed to own up that they did a particular thing wrong, or back to the victim side of it. You always picking on me, and that alone ruin a lot of relationships because you find yourself dealing with a particular person, and you go deep into who they are, and you realize in every situation they was the common denominator. So what they tell you, this person failed to face the worst part of themselves and do something about it. So
Mm-hmm.
they choose to play the victim and either consume you with all that bad energy and toxic behavior. So what you gonna do? You gonna leave them behind, and even work relationships. People just it didn't work out because people didn't hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. And you it's crazy that we put relationships at risk when we be real with each other. But
It's crazy. Yeah,
man, I only want people around me that's gonna be real with me. Like,
absolutely,
and like
absolutely.
it's something I just learned recently, bro. And I want to share, like when someone is telling you, about yourself, or telling you something you may could have done better, before
Right.
you get in your feelings about it and get defensive and want to point out something that they're doing wrong, like,
Mm-hmm.
listen to what they're saying and see
Mm-hmm.
if there's any truth to it. And,
Right.
and, and if it is, try to fix it. Like, don't be quick to point out, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing it. No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing wrong. This is what I need to work on and be better at. Okay, let me take that in. And if you're right, I'm gonna work on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
without coming back to you, like, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Nah, man. Own up to it, listen to what they say, and if there's any truth to it, go work on it and go make yourself better.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, man. I got my Malcolm X shirt on. Got a couple of quotes on here, and it says, "Stumbling is not falling."
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because, like, man, we ain't gonna get it right all the time.
Absolutely not.
But hey, don't fall. You know,
Yeah.
correct yourself, correct your
Mm-hmm.
steps, and let's
Yeah.
get back to
Yeah.
walking right, man.
Yeah. Accountability. That's what you. And that's in alignment. That quote alone is in alignment with accountability. We make the
Mm-hmm.
necessary changes. We make the
Mm-hmm.
necessary changes, that we need to make within every situation. That's accountability. To
Mm-hmm.
make the necessary changes. You know.
Then, man, when you gave me this topic, I was just, looking like what accountability, responsibility, like what's the difference? And it was like
It's the same thing.
responsibility, like it refers to the obligation to perform a task.
Yeah.
Like you're responsible for doing this. But it's like accountability is you're going to answer for the outcome of that task.
Absolutely.
A coach and a player. Like the coach ain't responsible if a player dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing but the coach is accountable, for how the overall team perform.
Mm-hmm.
And like even like with us as parents and kids, like if my child go to school and slap another little child in the face, I'm not responsible, for
Mm-hmm.
him doing it, but I'm held accountable for,
Absolutely.
okay, what are you teaching this kid at home? Like what
Yeah.
type of environment, are you putting them in? And then
Yeah.
another thing, it said responsibility is imposed, like
Yeah.
somebody give you a responsibility, but it said accountability is accepted. And and
Yeah.
they're really like, I was like, okay, I get it now. The
Yeah.
difference between accountability and
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah. I feel like a true leader, they're going to hold themselves accountable even
Mm-hmm.
before you get a chance to notice a flaw about them. You know, before that, they're going to beat you to the punch. And a true leader is not above being accountable, being held accountable. Because it's like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I make mistakes within my line of work. I'm considered a leader on my particular job. And when I make a mistake, which I do make mistakes, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, that's on me, my bad." I'm gonna we go back to the drawing board, we get better. That's all we can do. That's me as a leader holding myself accountable. That way, when somebody call me out, I'll be like, "Man, what you talking about? I did this, I did that." But a true leader is going to admit when they're wrong and not be above correcting it.
And that's part of you. Like you're not a leader if you don't even accept accountability for everyone else.
Right,
Like
right,
even as us, for fathers and husbands, like we're accountable for our family, man. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it been some of their actions they do, we're not responsible for it, but we're accountable for them. Like we're accountable for, God look at us like we're the head. Like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
you may go to church, but I mean, are we having Bible study in our homes? Like we're
Mm-hmm.
accountable. Like that preacher, he isn't accountable for, my wife and kids. I am.
Exactly. That's right.
I am, so you're not a leader if you're not even willing to accept accountability for others.
Mm-hmm. And just to get rid of the to just do away with the victim mentality, you just you have to be able to self reflect and be real with yourself and know what you need to improve. Just like I'm gonna use for example, we're gonna go spiritual with it. Let's think about the other side of not doing what you're supposed to do spiritually. As for me, like I said, I'm talking about me. And there was a time where I do devotion daily. Like I read daily, I pray daily, and no matter what happened throughout the day, I'm able to shake back or able to be able to react in a better way. I don't want to say the perfect way. when it comes to spiritual, like it's important to have yourself a daily routine, like your devotion. And I got away with that. I got away from that, like doing it consistently to where I was consumed about it. So I had to go back, do a self reflection of what works, or what's been working for me, and the fact that I got away from it, and the other side of not being consistent, holding myself accountable to say, hey man, no matter how this day go, I'm a I'm gonna give God this time, and it just set the tone for the day for me personally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then another thing, man, like we have our wives, but I was reading this book. Well, actually, listened to a book on Audible, and I think the title is "Hold On to Your Nuts."
Mm.
What nuts mean is like your non-negotiable, like unalterable terms.
Yeah.
And in that book, the guy was talking about having other men that hold you accountable.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah.
he was saying like don't even put all this on your wife. He was like
Yeah.
have other men to hold you accountable, man.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
good.
like even me and you, like we talked about this one day about holding each other accountable, but we never
Yeah.
really just stayed on point with it. Share things that, hey man, this what I want to do this month. I need you
Yeah.
once a week. Hit me up. Make sure that hey,
Mm-hmm.
you on track doing what you said you
Yeah.
gonna do. You on track to
You.
meeting that
Yeah.
deadline, and
Yeah.
that's what I want guys to do, man.
Yeah.
These, like I said, we started this podcast. It's not for the guys that got it all figured out. It's for the ones that trying to figure it out. Like you
Right.
said, man, we growing together.
Right.
And I know, man, like I said in the introduction, it's a lot of lessons I had to learn the hard way. But
Right.
just think about it, we can get other men that's on the same path as we are to
Mm-hmm.
come along with us and hold us accountable and to
Yeah.
hey get us on track when we get off track. So guys, if you out there, you listening, man, get you some men that's going the direction you going. Like
Man.
if they're not on the same type of mission you on, then hey man, you got to keep moving. Like surround yourself with like-minded guys that can hold you accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. We trying to do away with the shortage of accountability. There's a big shortage on accountability. And if you find yourself in a situation where you hold your supposed to be who we call SoCal family or friend accountable, and if they want to play the victim, then hey man, sometimes you gotta detach yourself. Yes, you can. I mean, you can be available from a distance, but sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
gotta detach yourself because we're about growing. Accountability equals growth. You know what I'm saying? And even back to the health side of it, like there's a circle I'm familiar with a number of brothers. One of the trainer was well-known trainer in Dallas, Texas, Cedric Bailey. He created this group that come together, group of men that come together on the I want to say Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, like 5 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
5:30 in the morning, and they work out. And everybody, you got to think about this. Some people may be in more shape than the next man, but on some scale we can relate. On a certain scale we can relate. We come in, and it's like we come in and just get restored amongst men that's vulnerable, that's not afraid to share certain things about themselves, and we see each other. Like even that accountability. When I say I want to stay in shape, this particular guy, like said, he said, "Hey man, slacking don't look good on you." You know, if I was a victim, I'm like, man, what you talking about, man? You don't know what I dealt with today. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's the victim mentality. But
Mm-hmm.
that the person that's want to be open to being held accountable, they're gonna take it as a challenge. Like, all right, bro, I got you. That's motivation to me. When you tell
Mm-hmm.
me, Jay, slacking don't look good on you, let's go. Oh, I told him recently, like I was struggling with my being physical, working out and eating right. He was like, "No, you ain't never fell off. We don't fall off around here. Let's get
Mm-hmm.
back to it." That's motivation, but it's a group of men. So a lot of people gonna have to, you know, just make themselves available to accountability and growing to get there. But if you want to be that victim, I'm not gonna be a victim. Used to be one. I'm not gonna. I choose not to be a victim. I choose to grow. Yeah, I choose to stand in my truth and just be better, be held accountable. I'm not above it. I'm not above it.
Okay, bro. No, you're not above it. I got a challenge for you. And I've been thinking about this, and you kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, you was talking about like with your fitness and you know you're working out and eating right.
Yeah.
Like I'm a hold you accountable to it, bro. Like what are your goals as far as how many days a week we hitting that gym, bro? Like how many days a week you want to hit
I
that gym?
say 3 to 4 days a week.
Three to four.
3 to 4 days a week.
Okay. And you believe that's enough to get you where you're trying to get to?
Yes, and the most important part is eating clean, eating better. You know,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of times, you know, the grind of life make you just don't care what you eat.
Yeah.
You know, I got to get more discipline in that department.
Yeah.
So I mean, me and my wife, we are doing a 20. I think she said we hope to do a 28-day challenge in
Okay.
February.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, what was the word? She said pescatarian. Anything that swim, we can't eat none that don't swim. So it's gonna be like fish, salmon, shrimp, stuff like that. Like we can't eat
Uh,
no chicken, no beef. Yeah.
hey, that's what's up, bro. Me and my wife, we just came off like this 21-day fast. They call it the whole 30 fast.
Oh
And
yeah.
like yeah, and we just came off of it, bro. She lost weight, you know, and me on the other hand, I was doing all I can to keep my weight, you know.
Yeah.
So I
So
would
what's the
eat.
point of the diet? What's the point of
Uh,
the
well,
fast? I mean, of the
it
what you call it? What y'all do?
it was a whole 30 fast,
Yeah. What's
and
that?
like we could eat meat, but it was like no sugar, no processed food, you know,
Yeah.
which that means you know no snacks.
Yeah.
We couldn't eat like wheat, like oatmeal, bread, you know,
Oh,
corn, you know, that type of
gotcha.
stuff. Really, all
Gotcha.
we were eating was meat, vegetables, and
Okay.
what else? I think I had some black beans. Like it really fruits, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And bro, like I could tell the difference in my body,
Got
and
better.
yeah, like and even starting to look better. And I had already told myself this year that I was gonna leave snacks alone for the whole year, bro, just to see, you know, what
Ooh.
I look like
Oh yeah.
for the whole year, just to see what I can look like. But the purpose of the fast, like I said, we did it with our church. You know, our pastor, he gave us the option to do the Daniel fast or the whole 30. And the Daniel, like it's no meat. You ain't eat no meat. So
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
heard. I'm
well, I
familiar with
do.
that. I heard about that.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
do the
That's a good
whole
leader
30.
right there. I appreciate that. That's a good pastor right there.
Yeah,
Dang.
I do the whole 30, but it just really like setting the tone for the year. You know, denying that flesh, man, and just kind of helping you be committed. And while you're doing this fast, he wanted us to read at least 3 chapters a day out of the Bible. Make sure we
Yeah.
praying more.
Yeah.
Just like really, like I said, setting the tone for the year, bro.
That's good, man. So any challenges throughout that? Any challenges throughout that 30 day? I mean, throughout the challenge?
Oh yeah, it would, bro. Cause like if you first of all, if you don't like meal prep and you just get out here and you at
Plan.
work, yeah, if you
Keyword is
out here,
plan.
you at work, and you know
Yeah.
how it is, bro. It's hard to find just healthy places to eat at anyway. Like you're
Right.
gonna be tempted, bro, to just get what you can get. And it have been times, bro. I had one day I did slip up, but
Yeah.
it been times where, bro, I was hungry, but
Yeah.
just to stay committed to it, I'm like, man, I
See?
just gonna keep riding till I find something, that fit the plan. Like I
There you
go
go.
grab a
That's discipline right
banana,
there.
huh?
That's some discipline. That's some
Yeah,
discipline right
and
there.
it did, and like it was real helpful for my wife because she said, man, she was like, I had never done nothing like this before, but she like this showed me that I could do it,
You can
you know.
do it. See,
Yeah, I could
that's the
do
thing
it.
about it, man. Healthy habits were created through. I mean, it was established with y'all doing that. Y'all established more healthy habits.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just will and I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's discipline. That's good. Even with accountability. Did y'all have a time where y'all had to keep each other accountable in that?
Oh yeah, we did. Like she be having a moment she get weak, and I be on her. I
Yeah,
be on,
yeah,
I be on her, bro. And
that's
she
good.
she she did better than me actually. Like I said, I had one day I slipped up. She did it all the way through.
That's dope, man.
All
That's
the way
dope.
through. Yeah.
That's dope. It was a mutual agreement on that one. That's dope.
But
When
yeah,
it comes
man,
to, go ahead.
no, like I was gonna say, like we gotta hold each other accountable. Like you said, like how we touched on it with the podcast. Like,
Yeah,
man, like I have big dreams, for this podcast, and I
yes,
believe, it's gonna grow to do good things. But
it will.
like we gotta hold ourselves accountable. Like we can't want people to support us, and if we're not putting our all into it,
Right,
So like I said, that even though it started with me, you know, um, kind of holding you accountable, it made me look at myself too, and like make sure you're doing everything you can,
mm-hmm.
to make sure this podcast is everything it's meant to be as well.
That's good. That's dope, bro. Like it go both. Like I said, it always go both ways. We ain't never into promoting nothing we don't believe first. So
Mm-hmm.
accountability is important, man. And when you get to the point where you're ready for that challenge, you also have to have a plan that'll go along with you being accountable. Like, how am I going to do this? It's just back with what you were saying. It's like, even with that 30-day thing, it's like, it couldn't happen without a plan. It's almost like saying, man, I'm finna lose weight. If I'm lose weight, if I ain't meal prep, I don't have a plan. I'm just gonna go and
Mm-hmm.
do it. That's not how
Mm-hmm.
life works. I ain't met a person that can just do it without a plan. That's just me. What we're doing in life, everything in life requires a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of plan to go along with. Or we'll be out here freestyling or doing in a cycle day in and day out.
Yeah, man, and just as we wrap it up, man, I just want to tell guys to surround yourself with people that's gonna hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people that's gonna keep it real with you. And
Right,
like when them like surround yourself with people that you can have them tough conversations with, and at the end of the day, y'all still love each other. Like
right,
if somebody come to you and with the real conversation, really challenging you to be better because they see it in you that you can be better.
right,
Like accept that. Like don't become bitter about it. But do this too. Like if you don't want to be the better person they see in you, let them know. Then
right.
that'll let them know how to handle you. Well, hey,
Yeah,
I see you
100%.
slipping. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see you slipping. I know not to say nothing because
yeah.
you ain't trying to come up to this level anyway. So
Your mind made up. Yeah.
yeah,
Ain't a whole lot to do. Ain't a whole lot you can do till mine made up. And on that note, Jay Brown signing out.
Ken Brown out.